Hi, my name is Bree, and this is my long presentation for my final project on Amazon CloudSearch for Harvard Extension School's cloud computing course. So, what is Amazon CloudSearch? Amazon CloudSearch is a search service that is typically used to integrate customized search capabilities into other applications. To set a search application up, the developer creates and configures a search domain and then uploads the data they want to make searchable. Once the data has been uploaded, the service automatically provisions the required resources and deploys the search index. Some of the benefits are that it's cost effective, it has easy configuration, and it has auto scaling for data and traffic. The biggest challenge, I would say, is getting the data in the correct format to be uploaded. The first step to using this service is to create a CloudSearch domain. A domain is comprised of three parts. Number one, the data that is to be searched. Number two, the instances that process the search request. And finally, the configuration that controls how the data is indexed and searched. Users interact with the domain to configure index and search options, which includes indexing options for the data you want to search, and access policies for the domain's document service and search service endpoints. Users also interact with the domain to submit data for indexing and, of course, to perform searches. CloudSearch has a RESTful API through which search requests can be made through a HTTP GET request to the domain's endpoint URL using CloudSearch's simple query language. Including GET requests, searches can be performed in four ways. Number one, through the AWS CloudSearch console, also through the AWS command line interface, using any AWS SDK for any supported language to interact on the application layer, and of course, submitting a GET request to the endpoint URL. When you submit a search request, Amazon CloudSearch returns a collection of the documents that match your search criteria. You can also retrieve things like the contents of just selected fields, facet information that enables you to categorize the results or further filter the results, and that way users can drill down into the data. You can retrieve statistics for the values contained in numeric fields. You can retrieve highlights that show you the search hits in the field data, and you can configure and retrieve autocomplete suggestions. You can configure your domain to control how the search results are returned. You can include parameters in the search request to control how the results are sorted. You can give different weights to different results and have results weighted higher shown first. You can specify to return the result in XML rather than JSON. You can paginate the result set, and also you have the power to define custom expressions to configure the results to be pretty much whatever you want. You can calculate a custom value that can be used to specify search constraints or to sort the results. So I'd like to just run through my demo. The first step is to set up the domain, and in order to set up the domain you're going to need data. I'm using this Birds of North America file I found on GitHub. It's just a JSON object with birds and their type. I uploaded that data into an Amazon DynamoDB. It's a table called North American Birds, and there's two fields, the name and the type. So to set up a domain, This is the CloudSearch console. Click this button, create a new domain. And then you're going to enter a search domain name, final demo. And then a desired instance type, depending on the size of the amount of data to be searched. I'm going to choose small, and then hit continue. This is to configure the index step. You want to sample some of your data to configure the fields and the index fields. Mine is an Amazon DB, so I'm going to select that table. And you can also sample objects in Amazon S3, objects on your local machine, or you can manually configure it. File types that can be used for indexing are CSV, PDF, HTML, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, and TXT. So here it has analyzed a sample of my data, and I'm just going to verify that the fields are what I want, which is name and type. Here's where I'm going to set up access policies. I'm going to choose search and suggester service, allow all, and document service, allow owner only. That way, any IP can perform searches on my domain, but only my IP can upload data to be searched. And here I'm just going to confirm all of my choices. And I have successfully created the domain. And this is loading and indexing the data, and this will actually take several minutes. So I already have another one set up called demo, which is already active. And here I can see my search endpoint. This is the URL I can submit GET requests to. And I can also search the data using this console by clicking this Run a Test Search. I'm just going to search for Swan. And as you can see, I get the expected results. And then I'm going to use this endpoint in my browser to submit a request (2013-01-01). That's the version it needs to be included. Search, and this is the GET request here, and we're going to search for Swan. And as you can see, I get the same data back, but this time it's in the form of JSON. So the third way that you can submit searches to a domain is through the AWS command line interface. There are two different tools to interact with CloudSearch service. There's the CloudSearch tool, which is used to create domains, delete domains, describe domains. And then there's the CloudSearch domain tool, which is used to conduct searches and add suggesters. So this is the one that we use to conduct a search. So the command is AWS CloudSearch domain search. And then you want to provide search query, which will search for Swan, and endpoint URL, which I'm just going to get here. And it has to be in the form of HTTP : and then the URL. And here we see the search results. So it should be the same from the other searches that we did. And then, so finally, the fourth way is through the AWS SDK, which is how you would interface with the CloudSearch to use on the application layer. So to demo that, I have here an HTML page. It just has a form with an input box and a submit button. And when the user submits a query to search, it will send it back to this page as a post request. So if the request method is post, it'll just instantiate a new domain object and then submit the query to the domain object's search method. Then it will get back the results and format it in the form of an ordered list, an HTML ordered list, with each item being a list item. So the domain class, this is the one that interfaces with the CloudSearch domain client, which is the client that is used to submit searches, configure auto suggests. So this is the search method here, and it just simply submits the query, and it returns the result, which is in the form of an AWS response class object. I also have here a CloudSearch class, which this one interfaces with the CloudSearch client, which is the client that is used to create domains, subscribe domains, and delete domains, as well as many other things. So if the domain doesn't already exist, it will be able to instantiate a CloudSearch object and create it. So see, this is that HTML page in my browser. And if all I have to do is enter my search query here and click search, and it will submit it as a post request. And here you see the ordered list with the results of that search, which should be the exact same as the other methods that we use to search against that domain. And that concludes my demo for my final project. Thank you very much.